Doubling the voltage gain causes a dB. A 10 increase. B 6 increase. C 10 decrease. D 6 decrease. The correct answer is 6 increase. Frequencies are values of frequency at which the RC circuits reduce the voltage gain to 70.7 of its midrange value. A critical. B cutoff. C corner. D all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. A roll-off of 20 dB per decade is equivalent to a roll-off per octave. A 3 dB. B 13 dB. C 12 dB. D 6 dB. The correct answer is 6 dB. An amplifier has an R in 1.2 K. The coupling capacitor is 1 floor. Determine the approximate lower cutoff frequency. A 133 Hz. B 1.33 kHz. C 13.3 kHz. D 133 kHz. The correct answer is 133 Hz. Refer to this figure. The output voltage at FCL 12 MV. What is the output voltage at the midpoint frequency? A 12 MV. B 12 MVpp. C 16.97 MV. D 8.48 MV. The correct answer is 16.97 MV. Each RC circuit causes the gain to drop at a rate of dB decade. A 20. B 10. C 6. D none of the above. The correct answer is 20. The phase shift through the input of an RC circuit approaches as the frequency approaches 0. A 0. B 45. C 180. D 90. The correct answer is 90. A certain amplifier has a bandwidth of 22.5 kHz with a lower cutoff frequency of 600 Hz. What is the value of FQ? A 600 Hz. B 22.5 kHz. C 23.1 kHz. D 21.9 kHz. The correct answer is 23.1 kHz. Internal transistor junction capacitances affect the high frequency response of amplifiers by A. Reducing the amplifier's gain. B. Introducing phase shift as the signal frequency increases. C. Having no effect. D. Reducing the amplifier's gain and introducing phase shift as the signal frequency increases. The correct answer is reducing the amplifier's gain and introducing phase shift as the signal frequency increases. What is the method that can be used to determine the values of FCL and FQ of an amplifier? A. 5 time constants. B. Step response. C. Sinusoidal. D. The correct answer is step response. An amplifier has an input signal voltage of 0.054 mV. The output voltage is 12.5 V. The voltage gain in dB is A. 53.6 dB. B. 107.3 dB. C. 231 dB. D. 116 dB. The correct answer is 107.3 dB. The lower critical frequency is also known as the A. break frequency. B. cutoff frequency. C. corner frequency. D. all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Refer to this figure. The capacitor C3 affects A. high frequency response. B. low frequency response. C. mid-range response. D. nothing. The correct answer is low frequency response. An RC network has a roll-off of 20 dB per decade. What is the total attenuation between the output voltage in the midrange of the passband as compared to the output voltage at a frequency of 10 times Fc? A 3 dB, B 20 dB, C 23 dB, D 43 dB. The correct answer is 20 dB. It is often convenient in amplifiers to assign a certain value of gain as the dB reference. A0, B1, C6, D10. The correct answer is 0. For low frequency response, all RC circuits in an amplifier may not have the same critical frequency. Which RC response will determine the critical frequency of the amplifier? A. The lowest frequency, B. the center frequency, C. the highest frequency, D. the bypass frequency. The correct answer is the highest frequency. A 10 times change in frequency is called an A octave, B decade, C decimal, D none of the above. The correct answer is decade. An amplifier has an output voltage of 7.6 Vpp at the midpoint of the frequency range. What is the output at Fc? A 3.8 Vpp, B 3.8 Vrms, C 5.4 Vrms, D 5.4 Vpp. The correct answer is 5.4 Vpp. The frequency response of an amplifier can be determined using the step response method and measuring the output rise-fall times between A 0 and 100 response, B 10 and 90 response, C 25 and 75 response, D 5 time constant responses. The correct answer is 10 and 90 response. Refer to this figure. The capacitor CB affects A. high frequency response, B. low frequency response, C. mid-range response, D. nothing. The correct answer is high frequency response. Refer to this figure. You measure an output voltage at the lower cutoff frequency of 3.42 Vpp. The output voltage at the upper cutoff frequency will be A 2.42 Vpp, B 3.42 Vpp, C 6.84 Vpp, D 6.84 Vrms. The correct answer is 3.42 Vpp. Refer to this figure. The upper cutoff frequency of this amplifier is 22 kHz. The output at that frequency is 6.71 Vpp. What is the output voltage at 220 kHz? A 9.49 Vpp, B 6.71 Vpp, C 0.671 Vpp, D 0.0671 Vpp. The correct answer is 0.671 Vpp. Refer to this figure. The capacitor C1 affects A. high frequency response, B. low frequency response, C. mid-range response, D. nothing. The correct answer is low frequency response. In a multistage amplifier, the overall frequency response is determined by the A. frequency response of each stage depending on the relationships of the critical frequencies, B. frequency response of the first amplifier, C. frequency response of the last amplifier, D. lower critical frequency of the first amplifier and the upper critical frequency of the final amplifier. The correct answer is frequency response of each stage depending on the relationships of the critical frequencies. What term means that the mid-range voltage gain is assigned a value of 1 or 0 dB? A. critical, B. Miller, C. normalized, D. corner. The correct answer is normalized. An RC network has values of R 1.2K and C 0.22F. Find FC. A 3.79 kHz. B 1.89 kHz. C 603 Hz. D 60 Hz. The correct answer is 603 Hz. Halving the power corresponds to a dB. A 3 decrease. B 10 decrease. C 3 increase. D 10 increase. The correct answer is 3 decrease. Refer to this figure. If RL decreases in value, the output voltage will A increase. B decrease. C remain the same. D. The correct answer is decrease. A 2 times change in frequency is called an A binave. B octave. C decade. D none of the above. The correct answer is octave. Refer to this figure. You are attempting to determine the lower cutoff frequency of this amplifier in the lab. As you change the input frequency and measure the output signal, you must remember to A. Set the oscilloscope to DC. B. Maintain the input voltage constant. C. Keep a constant temperature. D. Watch for a change of. The correct answer is maintain the input voltage constant.